So, the group has been walking into the rocky terrain of the Heart Valley for a few hours now, since meeting your new dwarven guide upon the bridge. Valen had, as he's called, was come upon by the group as he was shepherding a small group of undead across a bridge spanning the Heart River. The group mistook his actions as those of someone needing help and immediately leapt into action, making quick work of the zombies as Dvalin struggled in his attempts to stop you. Opportunistic Peritons attempted to make some quick meals out of your distracted group, but were pretty handily defeated, I'd say. After some explanation and spending some time burying the bodies of these now fully dead corpses, you came to a agreement with the dwarf. He would help you navigate the Heart Valley, of which he is incredibly familiar, leading you north to the city of Mountain Heart, as long as you would agree to not attack the northern peoples along the way, and possibly help him with a few of his own problems. Dwalin explained that these undead husks, as you called them, can come back, and killing them like you did on the bridge damns them from ever having that chance. A curious thing, for sure. He also assured you that all you'd find in Mountain Heart was more of them. He knows because he's brought many of them to the city himself. They seem to not be hurting anyone there, and nothing there is hurting them. Now, it is nearing 6 p.m., as the shadows have begun to cover much of the valley. As evening rapidly approaches, you diverged a little bit from the river to overcome some difficult terrain and into a small canyon covered in greenery, surrounded by tall, craggy cliff walls, where Xerxes picked up a strange sound. A sound you are all hearing a bit more clearly now, an echoing rattle, deeper and louder than what may be made by like a rattlesnake. Valen lets you know this sound comes from a lion-like creature with tail spines, which is likely the origin of the sound, a pack hunter that uses the cliffs and flight to its advantage. Let me move you to the map and get the turn order out so we can freaking do this.
Roll.
Please. Work. Drop.
Roll, make a roll, make a roll, make a roll, make a roll for initiative!
My drops aren't working. Nope.
Roll, make a roll, make a roll, make a roll, make a roll for initiative!
The drops don't want to come.
I've heard the Ricker rolls.
Oh, well, at least somebody has.
I've heard 2 of them.
I've hit it 3 times. I've heard none of them, so.
I also haven't heard them.
Thanks, Roll20. It says right now that one's attempting to play,
but then again, I don't know if
just for
anybody else.
Connor, then.
I don't know if anybody else has rolled initiative because I only see myself.
That's true. I also only see you. Hey.
There we go.
You know, it's Roll20. Weird things happen.
I think Xerxes and Isabel have the gift today.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Is that a D8?
Yeah.
Cool.
just rejoining the game here. Off to a hot start.
I'm feeling very blessed, Marshall.
Love it.
I'm just sitting on the loading screen now, so.
It took my computer like a good 3 or 4 minutes to join Michael, so I think Roll20 is struggling.
My word. Yeah, it's really.
So we just crushed this thing under our feet and got all the experience points.
That's what it's looking like. No music will play. Oh, there's some music for me. I don't know if anybody else can hear it.
Yep.
All right. My gift people, +5 dessert seasoner out of 20. And 2 for Anna, 17.
Not click experience, someone's not added.
Oh, yours is not in there. Oh, got it. Confused the hell out of me because it said Arthur. I was like, who? All right, is that everyone? I need to get my people on there, I guess. All right, my goodness. So much happening right now. Apologies. All flustered. Too many character sheets to worry about. Sarah. Okay, I think I have everything ready. Isabel. It is officially your turn. You have been told to brace yourselves as a fight is likely coming from these creatures that you were warned about. You can hear this kind of echoing rattle just kind of echoing around you. You haven't seen anything as of yet.
Okay. Isabel will cast. There it is. Bless at the 2nd level, targeting Stephen, Anna, Clavius, and Xerxes.
#blessed.
#blessed.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Stephen, Clavius, Xerxes. Was there one more?
Anna.
Anna. Awesome. #blessed. A good start. Stephen, more of the same. You have not seen anything yet.
Can I make a perception check since I now know we're...
Yes, absolutely.
Should that be blessed as well? Or is that not a... No, okay, sorry.
I don't know.
Prof
Saves.
Okay, just
saves and attacks.
Prof said no. There we go.
Beautiful. Stephen, you start kind of looking around as he says, these winged beasts, and start kind of looking for where something like that might hide. And you actually do see like this kind of hunched fur and this like leathery red wing just kind of peeking out from behind some rock, kind of on a ledge, maybe like 50 to 60 feet up in this general direction, Stephen.
What is this general direction? I didn't see it.
Oh, it is north. I am still.
Yep, there we go. Got it. Is it clear enough that I think I could get a shot off at it, or?
So it's gonna definitely have like 3/4 cover, mechanically. But if you have, a way around that,
I do.
then yeah, you would be able to target it. Or you can, target it with cover. If you like.
I won't even worry about it, and go ahead and ring the bells.
The bells ring. It's 15. Wisdom.
Yep.
That was a critical fail.
That is a fail. We'll take 11 points of damage. And I'll call out to everyone. There's one up there.
As Stephen points, I'm going to put this bad boy on the map just so that you know where he is. You might have to zoom in a little bit. I don't know. But he's to the north. Up on a ledge with 3/4 cover. Xerxes, it is your go.
I like to use the echolocation feat, bouncing the the sound waves off my horns to locate any enemy within 120 feet.
That sounds exactly like a real thing from the book.
Yeah.
100% believe you.
I'm going to try and shoot him, even though he's covered.
Beautiful. He's got a bonus to his AC.
Yeah, but I'm #blessed.
#blessed. Could offset it. Sorry, AC 29. He has an AC. No, he doesn't have an AC 29. That'll hit. 13 points of damage from your magical gun.
Roll rocks to runway one way or another. It is stars and scrubs. It's never in the middle.
Both of those hit, and you see this thing more clearly for the first time as it kind of like screams in terror or anger. Just to say, Sarah will do nothing. She's actually hurt. Sarah will heal herself. Why is she hurt? I don't remember her being hurt. But
Because those bird things got all up in her grill.
oh, they did. 6 points of healing. So she's gonna quickly med heal with one of her per day uses of that. It is my first Manticore's turn. What's this one? Remained hidden. Right. So this one, coming from the west, will begin a dive, flying down a wee bit, kind of coming out of cover, landing on a ledge, and will attack the one that used the very loud gun. With its
Seems fair.
Tail spikes. 3 attacks coming at you, Xerxes. Ranged tail spike attacks. 14 the first. Critical fail the second. Doesn't have a name. 18 the fourth. Or the third. That's decent.
The third one shall hit.
Beautiful. Great. And that is all it's going to say, or all it's going to do. It looks kind of like this. It's pretty horrible, if you ask me. Humanoid face, body of a lion, spines. Its tail kind of looks, can't see it, but it looks kind of scorpion-esque. But it has these spines all over its body. And that is what it is shooting at. Because, of course. The second one will fly down a bit and do more of the same. All at Xerxes to start. 10, 14, 20. 6 points of damage. Anna. You can now see 2 of these things.
Anna is going to pull out her bow. She will bonus action cut herself for 1 point of damage.
Solid.
And is going to fire at the western one. I probably need to take a couple steps to get a better shot. Like there. At least on my lighting, I can shoot it now.
Yeah, you're totally good. That hit. That also hit.
That'll be your turn.
Beautiful. Colt will fire at the same one. What does Colt do? He has a short bow. Pop, pop. Not as good as last week for Colt. Misses with both. And then this Manticore gets to come play. He's gonna fly in and land right there. And we're gonna multi-attack. So 2 claws to start at Anna. First, 21.
21 will hit.
Second, 8. And then it comes in with that big toothy maw. Bite. So 8. It's just the 6 points of sloshing. Goodness. Excuse me. And that is its go. Saru. 3 of your cousins have attacked you and your friends.
Sir says, skip me. Mike isn't working.
Distant cousins, I'd say.
From West Virginia.
Michael, did you see in the chat Skip Bartlett?
No. All right. Rip. Saru holds his turn. The dwarf.
Come on, you've got to surround him.
We'll scoot down here.
Classic dwarf scoot. That's how they walk.
2.
Oh my god. Can anybody miss? Those will both hit.
These puppies have taken some damage.
Just spreading that damage out. That's what I like. No?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Nope.
My dwarf. Clavius.
"20 feet to there, and I'll call the shadow in front of the northern one." Oh, the shadow has a new icon.
Nope. I mean, I had to match you. I couldn't make him look different. That would be weird. That wouldn't make sense. Look at him. He's so pretty. It's a little spooky. Currently, the shadow is like floating just in the air in front of that ledge, which is fun. So,
Which he can do.
which he can do.
The last time today, I'll 2 attacks from him.
Oof, that will not hit. The second will, however. He's got himself a little red dot on there. Anything else, Clavius?
Orp.
Isabel, back to the top of the round. Quick draw, Isabel.
Isabel is it's going to take the defend action and defend on their shield.
Solid. Steven, in the perfect flanking position, will obviously stab it with a sword.
Obviously.
It is your go.
I'm going to whip out the Scorching Ray and just fire it at this bro who's right up in our grill.
Right. Is that ranged?
Oh, yep. You are right.
So that'll be a disadvantage.
Yep. Never mind, I forgot.
Unless you want to walk away from him first.
Yeah, naturally. We'll keep ringing the bells.
Beautiful. No, not that I don't love it when people use their spells and stuff. He's a failure, and he has taken damage.
Yep, there you go.
Does not like that. Xerxes.
Help me understand the height dynamics. Do I have a shot at Hurt Boy up there? Can I shoot through the shadow?
To the north?
Yeah. Like what's the...
Yeah, you wouldn't. You have a clear shot at him, and you would know that the shadow is a strange thing. It is somewhat blocking your view, but I'm not going to say the shadow is going to affect
it.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Wow.
Ooh, the drops are working. Love that. Can you confirm that, bad boy? As as Nate clicks the button on the mouse, he feels Croft's hand reach through the computer. Say, no, don't. Yeah, that will hit with the bless. So thank Croft for that one.
Shout out to my boy Croft.
Bartlett's back.
Hey, Bartlett, I heard you yell.
Fixed it.
Pierce lung, damage as normal, and the target takes 2 levels of exhaustion, which could be big. Con save for half. Let's see if he can save. Confirmation low is
14.
Is possible for him to.
Nope.
No, he doesn't do it. His speed is halved with that, with 2 levels of exhaustion. I didn't give him damage yet, but he is still alive, so there's that. Let's see if he stays that way. He stays that way. He looks pretty bad off. Sarah will. Looks like she's gonna make 2 attacks. Hey, she's got 1. Solid. This guy's coming in. It's coming all Xerxes all the time. Bite. Or, well, let's do claw, bite. Claw. I'm rolling rocks. The bad kind of rocks. I like that it can be used both ways. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I'm feeling very blessed today.
This one's going to fucking fly away. That's what it's going to do.
Shadows get attacks of opportunity.
Shadows don't. It doesn't even know that, but they don't. It starts flying straight up. Let's move it half speed. So I can only go there. And then it's going to tail spike at the shadow. 16 to hit the shadow. I don't know the shadow's AC.
That does not hit. 14 plus proficiency bonus.
Here comes the second at the shadow. Oh my god! Missed all 3 tail spikes at the shadow.
We're all just gonna look at Ballin after this. If I thought you said like the forest was filled with scary things, like
Yeah, what were these fuzzy creatures? Are these pets?
mm-hmm.
Your Manticore's drunk?
It is your, I mean, I might be, I guess. I don't know. How do you roll drunk dice?
So, Michael, we've been playing. It's a free action to drop the longbow and then a bonus action to draw the sword, right?
I believe so. Sorry. Sounds right.
Cool.
Sounds fair enough.
Anna will do that, and we'll swing 2 Talir shots on the Manticore that just plopped.
More than one. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. So, oh my god. That's good. That's good sauce right there. It is still up. But it's regretting its current position a lot. Really regretting its current position. Colt will go here, get a clear shot. Pop, pop. Hitting twice and poaching the kill. Just barely. Good on you, Colt. Save somebody from a hit. It is Saru's go. And we can hear him now.
Yeah. He's going to hop over there. And he's going to yell some insults at that thing. Specifically asking Clavius, what's wrong with his face? Oh, wait. No, that's just his face.
Which one are you going at? North or the one next to Clavius?
The one in between Clavius and Xerxes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wisdom save. Oof. Oof. That is a failure. This is good. This is good. It's really good from this end, guys. Fallen.
Move there. Attack twice.
Pop. Well, it seems the new API I installed that was roll really good. I accidentally installed it on your guys' side. Rather than, Clavius, it is your go. Oh, you also had flanking there if you want to roll for the crits.
After 2 19s.
Yeah. If you feel like trying.
There you go. Get that 11 out of the way.
Yeah. Those are my type of rolls. 11 is good for me right now, I feel like. All right, Clavius.
I'll just attack the one I've got advantage on.
Yeah. 15 points of damage. It's looking pretty rough. Anything else, Clavius?
Nope.
Isabel. It didn't get the chance to attack Anna as it was killed before it got there.
Yeah, I see. Does it look like they probably just have that one handled?
Yeah, I mean, looking around, you guys seem to have pretty much slaughtered these things, and you know that. You can tell. It doesn't look like it's much of a threat. It looks like it's maybe trying to get away.
Isabel will just pass her turn then.
Steven, anything?
Steven never minds going for a poach, so
What you gonna do?
he's gonna go ahead and throw a magic missile at it.
Which one you want?
The only one I can see is this one.
Oh, beautiful. Eight points of demo. They slam into it, and it looks on death's doorstep, as they say in the business.
As if you had rolled anything besides 2 1s on damage, you might have done it. That's all I got.
Xerxes, would you like to pistol whip it?
He's actually startled by this thing kind of coming out of nowhere. So we got a cartwheel.
Oh my god. Amazing. It's been a while.
In a while. Well, it's only when he's startled. That's the only because it's reflexive.
The 2-hit roll of the creature's attack of opportunity. All right, so let's see if you can hit that. You can hit that to hit roll.
It's a daunting task for you right now.
Yeah, not good. Nope. Xerxes deftly escapes. Oh my god, amazing.
He reloads his gun in one motion. It's very fancy and cool. If we could see it, we're gonna have to CGI it. We're gonna have to do it in post.
Oh, it's that good. We can't even hire somebody to.
No,
That's how cool it is.
This is like a Zack Snyder slow-mo.
Okay.
And then he's actually gonna fire at the same one he's been firing at that's trying to fly away.
The one oh okay. Yeah. One drop that guy out of the sky. 14 will just hit. And even with that low 6 points, it drops from the sky and kind of smashes into the cliff wall and just slowly tumbles down, impacting down near the base.
He blows the smoke away from his barrel.
Zara will kind of look over towards that other one. Not feeling as she needs to do much. She can't really help in time anyway. It is its turn. It is going to disengage and fly. It's gonna fly this way. 50 feet into the air. And see if it can survive a barrage of attacks, which it probably won't be able to. But it is your go, Anna.
Anna's got to stow her Talir and pick up her longbow.
One down. Can Colt steal another one? He will try. can't see it. Oh, yes, you can. All right. Colt, pop, 16 and
Oh, yeah.
24.
Oh, yeah.
He actually wastes the crit, as the first one will. Take it down. It had 1 point left. And much like the other one, as that arrow impacts... I'm wasting my crit on the NPCs. What the hell's going on? And it will also tumble down into a pile with that other one. Well, I've defeated my monsters.
Anna will do an investigation over the one at her feet.
Mother.
Isabel wants to look over it as well, see if there's any corruptions.
Anna's looking for stuff.
Stuff.
Manticores are known for carrying backpacks in their wings.
Hey, you never know.
They're attracted to shiny things and stuff it in there. Cannon.
I don't know Manticore lore.
You know, Manticores. Weird things, right? Alright, so Isabel still gets a 10.
On a critical fail for medicine.
So good. Can't crit fail on a skill check, so if it's a DC 10. Isabel, you don't see any signs of corruption as far as you're concerned with a kind of quick look over. If you were to spend 30 minutes kind of going over it more deftly, you would feel more confident in that, but you're feeling pretty good about you don't see any. Most of the things you've seen with any of this corruption, it's been pretty obvious up front.
Yeah. Have at it, Anna.
What's that? Sorry.
Just have at it, Anna.
She'll poke it with the Talir.
Anna's looking through this thing.
Think, think, think.
Anna, you find mostly fur, claws, teeth, spines. You do have to avoid these spines as you're kind of looking through there. Curiously, you do find amongst some of its tail spines 3 silver pieces.
Oh, I'll take it and put it in the bag of holding.
You'll remember it forever.
Looking for stuff. How did you know?
Colt, that'll be your tip when you give me my tattoo. 3 silver pieces.
3 pieces of cold hard silver. Yeah. Sometimes you find stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Seems like everybody made out of there okay. Keep moving.
Yeah, they seem to be in sorts.
Made it out okay is a fierce understatement. All right, so it is about 6 p.m. It gets darker a little sooner in the valley. I'm going to pop you to this page, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do. You tell me. Great. Seeing none.
Nah.
Let's look to the map. Let us look to the map. So we are kind of just getting into the valley. It is, give or take by your map marking, maybe a little more than a day away, but you could probably get to the area that the airship is supposed to be within a day of travel. You could travel maybe a few more miles tonight if you so chose, or you could, start looking for somewhere to bed down, if that's what you want to do, as it is kind of getting dark in the valley.
I would ask Dwalin what. I mean, we clearly dealt with those things in the cave. So, what kind of things do we expect at night? Similar? Worse?
It was really crackly. What was that?
I would ask you what things we should expect at night compared to what we just fought during the day and handled.
Really kind of depends what's in the area. It seems like nothing really flies or flows by day and by night. They really kind of do as they please. The beasts, the plants, dragon. Really kind of
So,
whatever
what do you think?
you fancy for travel. If you like walking under the moon or under the sun more.
Well, we've done a fair amount of both. What do you think? Should we keep on moving?
And the lot of you see at night.
Yeah, most of us can.
Well, then I guess we keep walking, huh?
I mean, you're the expert. You're the one from the north, so.
Told you could pick your poison.
Let's travel a few more hours. Then bed.
Beautiful. Alrighty then.
Thinking like 2. Just get a few more miles. So we can make it to the airship area comfortably tomorrow. Or like,
We have some time to actually search for it.
Yeah,
Or a
before it
flight.
gets dark.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you guys kind of start off again. Somebody roll me a flat d20.
Stephen beat me.
The 10 wins the day. Let me check. All right, so you travel for another 2 or so hours, gaining a little bit more, a little bit further into the valley, which hopefully, if the Dragonborn Tinkerer who gave you this position is correct about the positioning of this airship, you should be able to reach it around the end of the next day. And you're led through the valley to a little ways in where there is actually some you start to see some structures, or what's left of them, more like ruins. You just see here and there's a few like pieces of worked brick or whatever, like some foundation, and it just looks like kind of random as far as where these things are, just kind of like scattered throughout the valley. And as you're kind of moving through this area, it is getting darker and darker. It would, depending on how far you want to push into the night, like you guys can either start looking for a place to camp here. You can push further. It's up to you.
I think we accomplished what we set out to do. So I think
Yep.
it's time to hut up. Job of the Hut.
Job of the Hut. Good name. Good name. Why would you call it Lehman's Tiny Hut anyway? That's a way better name. All right. So Stephen casts the hut.
Check.
And is there anything that y'all want to do in the night, or as you're bedding down this night?
Anna would look at Sarah and just be like, think you're ready?
And like as we mentioned before, Sarah had been pretty quiet the last few days after Isabel had cast her spell, removing whatever was afflicting her. There's a few points during the day where a few people maybe talked to her a little bit. Saru talked to her for some time, and then Anna and Isabel kind of pulled her aside at one point as well. Then Sarah will kind of like look over to you, Anna, and sitting there inside the hut. Yeah, I guess so. Don't really know how to start. But, so all of you don't know me, I guess, all that well. We've traveled together for a few weeks at this point. In my memories have been a bit foggy, but ever since Isabel helped me the other day, after she helped your food, I am getting them back slowly. The fog has been lifted a bit, and I feel compelled to at least share with you some things. Some things that I think might be important. I saw some things that I don't fully remember happening when Isabel helped me. I don't fully understand them, but I think that I'm being used a bit. It's the best way of putting it. By the Queen of Greyforge. I think Anna has kind of hit the nail on the head. I think I was sent for ill reasons. I think they meant for me to get sicker when I was there. And this corruption that was hurting the land and the things was hurting me. I think it was meant to take over. I don't really know what to make of that. I don't know if I'm endangering you all by being with you, and she kind of looks over at Steven. It's like, but I feel it's important that I tell you this, as you did much the same for us. I don't know if what graces I'm in, if I'm in good graces or bad, or if I'm a danger to you all still. I don't know. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling much better. As I said, the fog is lifted and I'm remembering more, but at the same time I'm worried about things. She looks over at Anna and Isabel and is like, I don't know what else is said.
Isabel, will you share what you saw with the group, so we all know?
Yeah, I can do that.
While he goes up and looks in writing, Anna will
Isabel flips through her book,
flips through her email
journal.
Isabel flips through her journal / her tabs. We have, well, Isabel will explain more, but I think we have good reason to suspect that the unseen have influence in Greyforge, either through some sister organization, and I suspect, though we don't have hard proof, that Selrani is at least in league with them. Just based on my own experience, knowledge, intuition, and what Isabel told me. She turns and looks at Isabel, hoping that was enough stalling.
Yeah, that was good.
If it's not, there's more.
The vision I saw, it was mostly I think, entirely of Greyforge. I saw Sarah walking through some underground tunnels with some sort of a dedication or resolution in her eyes. Then it shifted to a darker place, more like a prison or a cell, in which I saw members of the unseen. 2 people I had previously worked with, along with a third I did not recognize. And I think these 3 may have been the ones that put the curse on Sarah and many more. There was a phrase said in the vision: the daughters of sin are ready, the vicinage shall carry it straight into the enemy's gates. And the only other thing I saw was a group of elves descending to God's wall, their God's wall.
So, based on what Isabel saw and what we saw, I think this phrase may be written in Celestial or maybe just spoken out loud, Vicinid. Stephen translated it to something meaning dark omen. I think it's an activation word. We probably need to tell Arthur, among other things. But if someone with the corruption who's fully corrupt, who's far enough along, reads the letter, like Tamir did, the Blade Singer, they fully turn. I believe the plan was for Sarah to make it to Briarwood. Someone, maybe in the employ of Lord Briarwood, to say the word, and then she would be fully corrupted, gone, doing, well, what Tamir did to all the elves back at the hut. And it was only Tamir setting it off first that kept Sarah probably from making it to the gates. Sarah was taken away some number of years ago. Her sister told me to some different training than her sister and I got. It was secretive. I don't know anything about it. Even her sister knew nothing about it. My suspicion is it involved, well, probably much of what Stephen went through. And it just settled in with Sarah, for whatever reason. I was hoping, naively, that the unseen or any allies associated with them were doing this behind Selrani's back. But, well, based on what Sarah's starting to remember and my own gut, I have a feeling they're doing it with her blessing, if not her outright instruction. So, it makes me suspect that the first group is absolutely being held prisoner behind the walls at Greyforge. That the unseen have abilities to, at the very least, communicate with those in Greyforge, if not outright travel there. And that my family, at least some of them, including the Queen, are caught up in this. So, if we ever make it to Greyforge, our enemies will likely know. And we need to move with that knowledge in mind. And if Selrani is getting impatient, she could possibly send another group to Briarwood to activate some corruption beyond our God's wall.
I don't understand, though, because the unseen are already in Briarwood. Why would they need Selrani to do anything when they're already there?
Maybe to make it look like they didn't have anything to do with it. Is my best guess.
Appearances. Sounds like.
Did you say appearances, Croft?
Yeah, for appearance's sake.
But besides that, I'm not sure. Just something to be kept in mind, especially if we meet anybody else from Greyforge.
Smoking a cigar with gloves on is such not a problem.
Nope.
Steven will loudly kind of just nudge Xerxes and whisper sounds like Greyforge is going to be in need of a new queen soon, am I right?
He'll
But everyone
actually
heard it.
he'll respond out loud and just say, I can't say that I'm surprised that the royal family was up to no good. They've been up to no good for quite some time. No offense. Kind of like, looking at Anna. But a potential rescue mission, if that's what you're suggesting, having the prodigal daughters return could be quite the boon for such an event.
Yes. If we are... Our focus should be on Mountain Heart, but we have multiple strategies if we were to cross the God's Wall, and I think one of them would be to approach and act like my reappearance is all part of Selrani's plan, making it seem like she sent me on a secret mission or something. I don't know. It's either that or we would just have to play dumb. And I would need to be disguised some way. Either way, just so everybody's aware, if we make it to Grey Forge, we will be very much behind enemy lines.
Anna, did your mentor, did he know of where you came from?
Yes. We didn't talk about it much. He knew the tattoo. I don't know if he ever... I think that's one of the reasons why he gave me the one I have, to make it less obvious that I had a smaller one on my forearm instead of this, the sleeve I have now.
You see her kind of like looking at her tattoo.
I never told him who I was specifically. But Fillmore was a smart man. He knew all sorts of things that he seemed to have no business knowing. First time he ever saw the corruption, it fascinated him, and he seemed to already know things about it that we're just discovering. I have a feeling he could at least put the pieces together. Especially now that he made it. If he had an inkling who I was, if he's had any interactions and heard any stories, now that he's in Greyforge, of a dead Rylinia daughter, I'm sure he knows.
Xerxes, Saru, Stephen, and Clavius. As you guys are in the magical bubble talking about all this, you see something in the distance that catches your eye. At this point, it seems over 100 feet away, and you see at first what you think is torches, 4 of them, and then you kind of close in your gaze a bit, and you realize that it's dimmer than torches, and that it looks more like candlelight or something. And they're sporadically spaced out over like 20 feet away from each other, just almost in a line. And they seem to just like either you all just kind of noticed them in the last couple seconds, or they just kind of appeared. And it is dark out at this point, so this is the only light that you can see. So it's not crazy that you guys caught in on it, but everyone else is just kind of either facing the wrong direction or not paying too close attention.
Hey guys, can I borrow that scrying scope real quick?
Telescope?
The spyglass?
Whoever has it. Spyglass, whatever it's called.
I was gonna get real excited if we had a scrying scope. That was gonna open up some
Hell yeah.
opportunities and new ideas.
Because I don't know who has it.
Saru.
I'm assuming we're just theater of the mind in it.
Yeah, somebody
yes, you
hands
have
it
it
over.
now.
Saru, so somebody hands you the spyglass, and you aim it in that direction. You can roll a flat check, because you would get disadvantage for darkness, but advantage, and then there's lights, so it's fairly easy.
Oop.
So you get out there, and it takes you a minute to kind of like focus on these lights, and you realize as you kind of get them in focus, it looks like two little beads of flame in what looks to be humanoid frames, and these inhibit the eye region of their face. I'm going to just throw you on the map so you can see what I'm talking about, because I don't think if I click the button it will work. You all are here on the right side in the bubble. And it looks like that, Saru. A bit like that. To you.
Hey, Dwalin, do you come across these flaming-eyed things that often?
All the time. Especially up here. I fancy we'll see more of them.
Yeah, so
They're not your friends that you're trying to bring back to the city, right?
So Dwalin, what you would know about these particular ones was in the email that I tried to send to you that apparently cut down all of my email in half and was very annoying. It happened to Amanda too when I was talking to her. I don't know what's going on. But what you know particularly about these, from what you've encountered thus far, these are a bit different than the more normal zombies that you guys kind of encountered on those bridge. These you haven't had a great time like trying to shepherd. These have been harder in more ways than one, as they kind of come out of nowhere and disappear into nowhere. You've only really seen them at night. And they're not generally aggressive, but like, they are dangerous. Much like the group of you has encountered similar things of like this before, like being close to them causes you damage. Looking at them, like making eye contact with them, is like a horrifying experience that you just get the feeling you need to avoid. Like there's something much different and much scarier about these ones than these, the normal undead that you see. But you've seen these, but you've kind of learned to stay away from them.
Well, he said.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page. Great.
Yeah. So you see these things just kind of standing there, about 100, over 100 feet from you, and you can just once they're pointed out, once Saru's kind of looking in that direction, like you can all see these little candle lights in the distance, as they just seem to just kind of stand there and stare in your direction while you're having this conversation.
Steven, can this hut hide energy? Do you think they know we're here?
I mean, it doesn't hide energy. It doesn't, if Xerxes were to like shoot his gun, they'd hear it. So, but they can't see through it, so they don't know. They don't know what's going on specifically. So we'll just have to keep our eye out on them.
Hey, Xerxes, you want to take first shift?
Of what? Are we cooking something?
No, just keep a lookout. Make sure these things don't start encroaching on us.
I mean, even if they do, they can't get in, so we don't need to worry about them too much. I'm sure, as our dwarven friend has said, if we let them be, they'll eventually wander off. Steven's kind of looking at Dvalin to support that, but not getting anything.
Think so.
Okay, cool.
It's missing an email.
He pulls out his iPhone. Oh, turn the light off. They'll see it.
I don't like dark mode yet.
I haven't got used to it. What's the plan for the rest of the night? Anything else of note to be talked about this evening? Or is it sleepy time in the hut?
Anna would want to ask Clavius, have you talked to Arthur today?
This is Will thinking, not Clavius thinking. I know we haven't spoken to him. I don't think we've heard from him.
No, nothing today.
I think you should tell him to burn the letter or destroy
Oh
it.
yeah, he has it.
Mm-hmm.
I have it copied down. I just would hate for someone to be able to read the word and bad things were to happen. Also, if my estimation is right, Yofun should be there tomorrow. So just letting him know to expect Yofun tomorrow. I'd like to hear how that goes.
Do you want those exactly, Michael, or that seems like way less than 25? Like I could mumble pretty good and still get those two things in there.
Yeah, if you're just relaying that to Arthur and not asking him anything specifically, I'm fine with that.
Make sure you ask him to send us things like he always sends us. What was that? Send nudes, whatever that means. Make sure you put that in there.
Yeah, actually, so we'll go to break now, the 8:24 break, as we always do. And then, yeah, so if you want to type something out to send him, that way he knows if he needs to answer something, anything specific, because we have kind of like a day-by-day thing going. to figure out how things work. So if you guys want to like combine to figure out a 25 words or whatever, feel free. Just throw it in the chat and we'll figure it out from there. But A24 break, as is tradition. Oh, wait.
Boy.
We back? The night passes and day breaks in the valley. At some point in your watches, you looked, up in the direction where the lights were coming from, and they were gone. Didn't see them for the rest of the evening. That's it. That's all I've got. It's the daytime. Let me advance the calendar. So
to the ship.
On the road again.
I do have a few clarifying questions.
Never.
Would I have had time to craft some bullets? I'm running low.
Ooh.
It takes 4 hours.
Hell no. Yeah, you can.
I don't know how many.
Did you see those 26s you were rolling earlier? I can't have you craft any more bullets.
I definitely need to craft some bullets. Where is my tab? Where'd my tab go? I just realized I'm asking that on my character sheet. Guys, I'm smart.
Early morning on the 15th.
Didn't you have like 30-something bullets left?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many? If I run out of bullets, what am I going to do?
2 or 3 a turn.
That's true.
That's
You have a
15
dagger,
turns, Nate.
don't
That's
you?
15 turns. You'll be fine. The combat doesn't get past like 4. You're fine.
Right.
You're fine.
You know what? I crafted 25 bullets, so just everybody relax. Everybody relax. Otherwise, I'm going to be running around knifing people
I do love
for
that.
4 points of damage and bludgeoning them with my gun.
You could have got a kill with the bludgeon if you wanted, so you could have gotten a kill.
And then, Michael, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I think I can see people's health in general.
With the
Yes, that is intentional. We covered it before.
Oh
you got
yeah,
on.
yeah. You can
Okay.
see the red bars. You should be able to see the red bars.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
not
see the numbers, but okay.
That's how it's meant to be now. That's what I intended from the get-go, but or I think at least that's what I intended, but now here we are. And
I thought maybe we were just playing hardcore, where it's like, yeah, you can see if you're bloody and that's it.
Yeah, I think I thought about trying that, and I meant to fix it so that you could see, but like on my screen, I can see all the numbers, and it's really hard for me to see what you guys see. Like there's even a button that I can switch to player view, but I still have control of all the players, so it doesn't really help, if that makes sense. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Just double checking.
Yeah. No.
And then because I want to hog as much time as possible. I know. I'm the worst. But Xerxes does want to have a conversation with Dvalin. Nick, are you alive over there?
Yep.
Nick's alive. Okay. So while we're just like gathering up our equipment for the journey of the day, he will come by and say, "You know, you handled yourself pretty well with the axe back there. I realize now that if you had meant us true harm yesterday, you would have put up a much greater fight. I apologize for the part I had to play in yesterday's misunderstanding. And while I'm not entirely sure you're of sound mind, if what you say has even a kernel of truth, it's worth exploring, and you shall have my help in that." And he reaches out his hand.
Dvalin will
kind of give you a really kind of rueful look, and he'll kind of like break out into a grin. Just start shaking your hand ferociously.
I assume this is like a forearm clasp,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
I don't think you'll find many people of sound mind up here. At least, you've seen too many things. I think the people with the soundest minds happen to live in the hollow, just downriver. I accept your apology, but it's not needed. Perfectly fine. And would be lying to you if I said it didn't happen somewhat often. Fortunately, I think I get to travel with you a bit. So, whatever I can do to help you in your aims, I intend to do it.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm a bit of a craftsman, so if you need anything in particular, please let me know. I spent time in Mountain Heart, as you probably could guess, with some of the intricate design that I've got going on over here.
Well, I think you'll be happy to know that the great smiths of Mountain Heart are still there. They just don't look like what they used to. Kinda stare aimlessly, walk about. It's kind of hard to tell which one's which, honestly. But glad I've got something else to do than kind of collecting those bunch and leading them back. Truth be told, it gets kind of boring, and I was looking for a reason to stop doing it for a while.
Well, I look forward to the day that they can teach me again some of their great wisdom. I'm not sure if anyone's mentioned, but we were actually on our way to search for a fallen Maranthian ship. Have you seen such a thing up here?
Can you describe what it looks like?
From what I've been told, it looks like a ship, and it once flew through an air.
Huh. I do know of a ruin up in the mountains a bit. Treacherous path to get there. Tried making the journey myself once or twice, 3 times. So I know some of the sneakier ways to get up there without falling. And I don't know some of the other ways that we might fall, but depends on how bad you want to get there.
Well, I think fairly bad. Our tiny little friend over there seems like he's got his heart set on it, and I would hate to disappoint him. But we're also not about to kill ourselves over what could just be a myth. So...
Oh, it's there, all right. Just, you don't seem to have brought many parts with you.
Well, it's hard to know exactly what you might need until you see the state that it's in. If it's repairable, I would love to do so. Could really help us get around quite a bit quicker. But I was around back then, but unfortunately I never got much of a chance to explore one up close.
Well, I'm glad I'm going with you. I'd like to explore it a little bit closer myself as well. I've only seen it from several stones throws away and several stone falls down. Kind of hurts your neck when you look up at it for so long.
Well, it looks like everyone else is ready to go. Looks like Steven is finishing his carving over there. So why don't you lead the way, Fallen? He's drunk. It's 6 a.m.
Nice.
Not enough sleep.
Classic wood carvers. I like how you worked it in the conversation before it happened. That was good. as far as a message to Arthur last night, is there one that we want to generally send? Any information you're looking to get back from the man himself? Because he only has 25 words to respond. Such is the way of message spell, sending spell. God, who did that? Very, very funny. Bottle cap, whoever put not the drink. It's very good. Made me laugh. Bottle cap taken away for nobody owning up to it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about either.
Next to Brandy, somebody put not the drink.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I did that last week.
Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Why not?
I just noticed it. Literally laughed out loud. So it was funny.
I added a bottle cap. It's too late to take it back now.
Too late. It's too late to take it back. I'm okay with that. It's fine. I don't give enough of them out anyway. Oh, what was I saying? I don't even know at this point.
I mean, I just wanted to let him know that, or advise him to destroy the letter. It could activate corruption, and Yofun should be there tomorrow. That's way less than 25 words, so that's about all I need.
Arthur, if there's anything you'd like to respond to that general message, you can generally respond as long as it's under 25 words. About your current situation on whatever day it was, the 14th. The list is going to just keep growing, isn't it? Very funny. Very funny. And that's why, I mean, Xerxes would be pretty good with the stone, as you can see. He's very good at
How's this work, Xerxes?
concise, straight to the point messages. Very good. Letter from Elf. Light on fire. Dangerous. Assuming bullshit. So unless there's anything else, I know Nick has to learn words and how long things are. It's a real pain in the ass. I know. I was a wizard that used sending too much. It's very hard. You guys will travel for a few hours into the valley. At about high sun, about halfway through the day, you approach this kind of lower section of the valley that is covered in bushes, foliage, a lot of difficult terrain, I would say, It's best to describe it, and it like kind of goes from. It looks like it goes from wall to wall of the valley. I mean, it is, and there's trees. There's all kinds of nature, if you will. Obviously, the river cuts through the center of it, but it looks a lot different than the previous sections of the valley did. And it goes on for a few hundred feet, probably over 400 feet, until you can kind of see it like start to gradually go back up and turn to this more like regular looking terrain. But that is kind of what you'll be approaching. Here's your message from the Artie man. Legion still in the mine, no activity. Glad the doom is coming. Unsure what we'll do. My cousin is with the Legion. He may have turned.
When we say mine,
Motherfucker.
that what we're referring to Kestrel Academy as?
We think that they stopped out someplace near Kestrel Academy. A mine to the north of it.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Yeah. I thought Nick was outside and they were in the academy, but my mistake. I remember now.
No worries. A lot of shit going on. So that is the message that you receive from Arthur the night before, which is some news. So there you go. But it is the daytime now. It is noon, and you are in a very very strange looking part of the valley, covered in nature. Yes. What?
Does it appear that the vines are covering something? Are they mounted?
There are. Make a perception check. Yeah, make me a percept. So looking through this, 400 or so foot region, you do see these large mounds, kind of sporadically placed throughout. Some of them look like tangles of vines with these big flowers on top. Others look like more natural bushes that don't look as exotic, quote unquote, as some of these more like viney looking things. There are thickets of thorny bushes. You're seeing all these things. You don't seem to think they're necessarily mounded on anything in particular, just more vegetation, is what it looks like from your current position, kind of above them. But as you approach, you look to the sides of the cliffs, and it's well, we could try to climb to go around this, or we go through it. Seems to be the options.
Can Isabel investigate the vegetation, see if there's anything
you
odd or
can
interesting?
make a nature check from here. If you want to get down there and get in there, you can do something else, but just kind of looking over the area and trying to pick things out. Nature check.
Evidence.
Absolutely. The first thing you note is it does look quite exotic, as far as you wouldn't think to find plants that look like this in the valley. It is the valley, it is going to catch a lot of water, there is going to be a lot of vegetation, but you wouldn't necessarily think that it would look quite like this. And this area seems almost out of place. From where you currently are, it's you're not there's no specific plant that you're oh, I know that one, or that's Nightshade, which you found before. It's nothing like that. It's
Right.
just like it just looks odd. It just doesn't look. You wouldn't expect it, but it's like this like drop down area just full of vegetation, and it doesn't look very easy to pass.
Can I climb 20 feet up the cliff and look down on it?
Yeah, like heading over to the side and kind of go up on the cliff. Absolutely.
And then just looking generally, but I'm also curious. Can I see? Is there like a spot this seems to be coming from? Like an obvious source? Like if it's coming from a hole somewhere or on a cliff, or if it's just kind of
make a
everywhere.
Make a niche or a perception again from the cliff. So yeah, you kind of skitter up the cliff pretty deftly, pretty easily. If there's one person in the group that would probably be able to just cross along the cliff wall, it'd be Saru. And yeah, you're looking down to see if there's any specific source of like where any of these specific vines or plants are coming from, and you don't see any. But something does catch your eye from that position. You see that there are some like pathways through. Some of them a little more worn down than others through this area. And you swear you think you see movement about 100 or so feet in, just like plants just like shifting as if someone was walking through them or passing through them. But you don't see anyone, but you do see the plants just kind of like shift as if someone walked through.
Okay. I would just kind of out of general. Just, hello? Is someone in there?
Shush. No, keep quiet.
Too late.
Hear ya.
I'm on a cliff. I just yelled that. Sorry.
They'll hear you.
Who's they?
Should have said something earlier.
As the echo kind of like goes out, and Dvalin kind of heading towards the cliff, Saru, you see multiple areas of the plants shift a bit. 1, 2, 3. They're a ways apart, and they seem to like shift as if something is coming closer to you, and then they all just kind of stop. But it looks like something, a la like, sorry to dip in the same well all the time, but a la Lost, like when you see some of the trees like moving, that's kind of what you see, like as they're
Total coincidence that you constantly go to that well.
Yeah, who would think?
Total coincidence.
Yeah. Lucky for you, I've never watched it, so I'm thinking of Bird Box and all the trees moving.
It's probably just like that. It's probably just like that, but I've never seen it, but it's probably the same.
Everyone put your blindfolds.
It's probably shot for shot the exact same as Lost.
What was that Marky Mark movie? The Happening?
Happening.
Yeah.
Oh, Marky
M. Night
Mark.
Shyamalan.
Oh God!
What a twist!
Looked up
yourself
images
right
of
over my
Bird Box, and it is
lawnmower.
Very scary.
Bird Box was actually pretty good.
There's some spooky pictures.
You don't actually see the creatures. Anything you see is like
that.
They actually did have creatures that they were like, we should put this in. And they were like, no, these look stupid. Which they were very smart to do because they do look stupid.
There's a scene in the beginning of that movie where somebody just like sits in a burning car, and that's about the only thing I remember about that movie.
Oh,
makes you want to kill yourself or die.
The monsters are. I just searched Bird Box monster.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
They're stupid.
It's like a really old baby.
Yeah, they're really weird.
You see 4 of those
running around.
Definitely not using those.
It's like a really old baby. I hate them. I really hate
Dwalin, what are you doing? Anything else? Or have you stopped? making noise.
No, get down.
I would listen. I would like move back over to kind of where I crawled up, kind of sort of not, so I'm not going down like in the vines as much as I can.
All right.
And then I'd kind of, whisper to him and be like, "There's something in there, and you knew it. Why didn't you say anything?"
I didn't think you were gonna call to it.
What
All
is
right.
it?
So, there's these plants, and they don't like people. They don't like people one bit. It can be kind of difficult to tell which one's the nice ones and which one's not so nice ones. I've made my way through here plenty of times, but as I'm sure the cats saw, the plants move, and they like to stalk some of the trails that I take. So, I haven't yet figured out how to spot them any much farther than right up close next to your nose, but if you're wanting to go to the ship, this is the way that we gotta go.
So are you safe on the path,
Uh,
or how do you get?
the path is just one way that we know for certain is the way through.
Is it safer to climb across the cliff face?
Well, you won't see me climbing the cliff face. I don't know how many of the rest.
Oh, you could
of
do it. I'm sure you could.
Kind of looks at his like full plate metal boots.
We can tie a rope on you and. So what? We just walk through these plants that are going to attack us? Is that? Is there a deterrent? Do they like music?
How many are there of us? 7?
Do they like music? Is the best question.
No, 9.
Keep the small
Yeah, there are
ones.
9. There are 9 of you.
I keep just counting PCs.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget about the NPCs you're dragging along.
In the middle.
No.
Plants, the small ones the most.
Do you know how close you can get before you will trigger one?
I guess within its reaching distance.
What do they do?
Refer back to an email, but oh,
As far as
knowledge I'd have.
yeah, as far as you know, they use their vine-like tendrils to like grasp onto things and drag them in. But yeah, you've had a hell of a time picking out the bad ones from just the normal plants over your time in the valley.
If I had my way in the means, I'd just burn the whole place, but I've got neither.
Well, I mean, we have a certain fiery friend over here as he looks over at Steven.
Has you got the ability to burn the whole valley?
I mean, he can launch some fireballs. It's a good start. But hey,
Should we burn it?
What?
I don't know.
Should
I'm
we?
just
Go Croft.
Should we burn it? I just
throwing out ideas.
just what the Valen was saying the other day is maybe we shouldn't just try to kill everything we come across.
Nah, these you can kill.
Well,
Yeah, here we can kill these. No.
If you've got questions on what to kill and not to kill, just ask Old Dwelling.
No, but
just saying, if we can avoid them, why not?
You can't avoid them.
What if? Well, they seem to be drawn in by sound. So what if I were to crawl up on the cliff and make a lot of noise while you guys snuck through the bramble and whatnot? Couldn't hurt. It's better than all of us running through in a big giant mob where there's only one big ass target.
I haven't tried that strategy. It's sometimes hard to lead some of those dead through. They don't climb, you see, so I haven't had the opportunity.
I mean, I think that's worth a try. Because, I mean, I can climb across that cliff, no problem.
Just don't
Distracted me when
fall.
I started yelling, so if they're...
You won't like it if you do.
I won't fall. I'll be good. So yeah, I guess we would walk back to the group if we weren't with the group and relay all that information. He
I
basically
assume we're all together, right?
says the plants are going to
you're
kill
probably
us.
pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you guys want to do
I
with
think we
this
should
plant
just
puzzle.
climb across the cliff. But Dwalin's scared of heights, so he doesn't want to climb.
Climbing is not my forte. I thought Dwalin
Are you
said
scared
he
of heights
was-
too?
No, I'm scared of falling. I thought Dwalin said he was able to maneuver around them.
You can take the paths that lead you through. You just don't know when one might try to grab you. I've seen a body or two at the bottom of the cliffs before as well. It's not something I'd like to try again.
Bolt in front, Sar in the back.
Classic. Classic. Well, we could just throw the small halfling boy in there and then the one-armed girl after him.
While they're eating, then we can run. It's like zombies. You only have to be faster than the slowest person. Or tripping. Good at tripping people.
So Dvalin, you said they respond to noise. What if, how far can they reach?
Sure, I'd have to roll some sort of check or something.
Yeah, roll a nature
I
check.
just didn't know if this was a poison ivy from Batman situation where, vines are just going to shoot out at you.
All of your times through here with them, it's been just so hard for you to tell where the vines were coming from. So yeah, you just don't know with that 6.
Because I could fly and, try and lead them away from the path and give y'all a chance to get through.
I don't know. I don't I don't know if that would work or not. I don't know if they follow just the noise or the vibrations of the earth. Not sure.
Well, how about this? I'll climb up on the cliff. I'll make some noise. I'll beat on the side of the wall so it makes some vibrations. You guys can walk through. I mean, at this point,
Yeah,
not gonna make things worse, right? Then Steven doesn't have to cast a spell. I'll be fine climbing.
Well, you've been good bait before.
All right, Anna,
Sorry.
you're climbing.
So I was like, remember that time
No,
that he,
actually,
that he
Sarah,
dove
you
off
go
the
climb.
bridge?
Sarah, you climb. Yeah, Sarah, go
Sarah
climb.
doesn't-
Three
Sarah doesn't
contact
wanna-
points always.
Anna's
Oh wait, that's all you've got.
Anna's fine with this. Anna's fine with this fantasy.
Damn.
Yeah, and I mean, worst case scenario, the plants attack. Steven's got fireballs, and I can jump down and help.
Love it. So what I feel like
Xerxes can fly.
we're coming to a head-on is a skill challenge. So that's what we're gonna do.
Do you have a drop for that, Preston?
Oh, I was actually thinking if I do or not.
You should have a skill challenge drop. That'd be good. For now, it'll just be this. It's time for a skill challenge. Oh, that's way better. Yeah.
That sound when you walk in the fields of play.
Yeah. That was way better. I love that.
There you go. It's a long one too.
It's just like he's coming back and forth.
I
Try
choose
to make it
run.
quiet.
Because, it's just like a level 4 Pidgey. I'm like, I don't care. I'm done.
I've already got 17 rat-tat-tats.
Yeah.
I don't need any more. All right. So, what is the plan? And basically, the way the skill challenge is going to work is you guys are going to need to get a certain number of successes before you get a certain number of failures. You'll be using your ability checks, or you can be creative, use other things as well, spells, things, whatever. You want to get more passes than you do failures. If someone uses the same check as someone else, the DC gets higher. You don't know what the DC is. And spoiler alert, if you get more failures, or if you get to the number of failures first, then you do passes.
TPK.
TPK, yeah. That's what happens.
It's automatic.
Just automatic TPK.
Everyone
yeah, no.
falls off the cliff.
Yeah, possibly, depending on your strategy here. So
We have the quick time session.
it's all over. It's gone. Roll up some new characters. You have failed. So let's get some. I mean, I don't have a playlist that says skill challenge, but maybe I should. Is this a good one? Who's to say? Don't know.
I'm trying to think of. I have to open another program, and I'm not sure my computer would like having that program open with Zoom and Roll20.
My music just doesn't want to work, so that's really fun. Thunderbird play. God, this is like the least exciting one. Okay.
I'm working on it. We'll find out if all of a sudden disappears. Computer died.
You're a little
Little robot-y.
robot-y there.
Good old Zoom.
Oh, this is good. I'm into this one. Let's do this. All right, so skill challenge. You are trying to essentially get through 400 or so feet of apparently deadly plant-filled region. How would you like to attempt to do this? Be as creative or as uncreative as you like, and I'll tell you what checks you want to use, or if you have a specific check you want to attempt to use, get creative and figure out how to use it.
So, I mean, I just envision that I'm up on the cliff, probably 15 feet off the ground, and then I just slowly kind of move ahead of the group initially, and then when they get about halfway, I would switch directions and go kind of back to the start. Just trying to keep as much distance away and trying to draw as much attention as I could by banging on the cliffside and or hollering a little bit.
Right, so are you guys, some of you or all of you, like trying to also pass this cliff route? That Saru is kind of helping you guys find this path along the cliffs.
Would you say that's an athletic feat?
We do have ropes.
It could be, possibly, yeah. If that's the way you guys want to try to get around it, or if some of you are not going that way, that's okay too. I just want to know if if people are following Saru or not.
Well, I think we're talking about two different things. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael and Bartlett. But I heard Bartlett saying he was going to go high and like be a distraction and like be loud while everyone was walking the path. That's your idea.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, just whoever wants. If someone wants to climb, I guess they can climb.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I understood what Bartlett was saying.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, no, I'm strictly saying
quite
because I am
helpful.
clearly going to be the best climber and have the best chance of not falling. That there's not really a reason for someone else to
All
climb
right,
unless they just feel like being athletically.
Steven can
special.
burn a spell slot and fly and try and help be a distraction or something, but
Well, we'll start with Saru. So Saru, you have a climb speed, so I'm not worried about an acrobatics or an athletics check from you. You can climb very easily. You'll be able to find this, but you are attempting to kind of get these plants pointed at you. Basically, you're attempting to get them. So some kind of charisma check, performance, persuasion, even I might allow. It's up to you. Just let me know.
I mean, I can do either. I have a preference of the two. I just don't
Well, if
necessarily
you
know
have-
how you would persuade plants, unless you're
You
just.
tell me.
I mean, unless it's really just like I'm making enough noise that the noise is trying to persuade them that hey, there's something over here.
Hashtag that's the skill challenge.
And at
So
worst,
you tell
and at
me.
worst case, that I mean, I guess I could start dropping rocks near the rock cliff, so it would actually start hitting the ground. So if they were only triggered by things in the brush, that they would at least go towards that as well.
All
So
right.
like as I'm climbing, I'm kind of just dropping rocks that are loose or whatnot.
Roll a
Or coins. I could just drop coins.
roll a. I will take a deception check as you are attempting to make the sentient plants believe that there is something over there of use to them.
Not what you said earlier.
I know, but then you described what you wanted to do. All right. As the group heads into the bush, Saru starts to make some scrambling, some noises, kicking off rocks, trying to get their attention. In Saru, you do see that the plants start to move a bit. It's hard to tell which ones are moving and which ones are just being pushed by the plants, but it doesn't seem like they're coming directly towards you, as the rest of you are hitting the path. And you have one failure on the skill challenge. Who's next?
And I'm thinking one of us can try and even though Devon has said it's hard to spot the difference between the two, maybe we can still try and spot upcoming ones lying in wait and try and avoid them that way.
Beautiful. So as you're starting to move through the brush, you have Isabel kind of really combing the region, trying to use her innate skills of knowing about herbs, plants, nature, and she is going to roll a perception check. In an attempt.
Could I offer a suggestion before he rolls that might help Isabel determine?
Possibly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Stephen would suggest would it be helpful if he flew kind of low over the plants and maybe you can see which ones try and
react to you.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isabel.
Yeah. And
Steven, roll a. Well, first you have to spend
Yes.
fly.
Yeah.
But then roll an acrobatics check. And this is not a success fail. This is to see if you aid. And you do. So Isabel, you'll have advantage on this roll.
Okay.
For perception.
Can Isabel use guidance as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Isabel, you take a hard look at Stephen as he's kind of flying over the top of these things, and you see ahead on the right side, you see this something try to reach out and grasp him. And as he kind of spins out of the way, you're able to kind of maneuver people onto the more left fork of things. And that is one success. And one
Nice.
failure. Who's next? Come on, guys. I don't want to have to TPK you.
Xerxes can go next then. Xerxes having Nom flashbacks.
Classic.
Will try, is trying to rely more on his time as a loner, going through, harsh environments. I'm just telling you, I would like to try and use my survival.
Yeah.
Reactions to unknown criteria going through an unknown world is what he's trying to do. So
I will allow it. Survival check.
Can Isabel assist in some way?
I don't know. You tell me. Can Isabel assist?
Isabel is going to cast a spell on Xerxes. Go.
Power word kill?
Yes, absolutely. Power word kill.
Man, that was a rough way to go out, guys.
Yeah.
And doing Al's wisdom. You have advantage on some checks.
Beautiful. So Xerxes, you had advantage on your survival check. That is a pass. 2 passes.
Very wise, guys. That's canon.
Very wise. You saw him. He looked very wise with those glowing white eyes. No, Xerxes is able to kind of track his way through here. He can see, he's looking for surprises along the way. He's looking for broken branches and things that doesn't look like anything's moved through this region before. And it seems, more passable maybe ahead. What else we got? Got my marker right here for marking failures
get a
and
turn?
passes. You want my
Does Colt
NPC?
get a turn?
You want my NPCs to roll to determine your?
Can I be Colt?
Yeah. What is Colt trying to do?
Because I kind of envision Colt because he's so small.
He is
standing
small.
on Clavius' shoulders and looking.
Let me just pull up Colt's.
I mean, NPCs don't have to roll. That's fine. They don't have to roll.
That's up
it's
to
just
you.
fun for me.
What was the name of the guy from last time, Will?
Yeah, Roscoe wouldn't have needed to stand on anybody's shoulders. Come on.
I'm just assuming, you would have asked, hey, what would have Roscoe have done, guys? Just to needle him a little bit.
Just to needle Colt.
I think we'll see some of that.
And I think he would have been, I'm not Roscoe, and would have climbed up on his shoulders just to prove a point.
Maybe that's all happened. Maybe it didn't.
Colt, so
I won't roll any checks with my NPCs unless you tell me to specifically, because I'm the only one who can see their pluses and minuses for their skill checks. So
Anna can go next. Anna, so we've been sort of observing. I mean, we don't maybe have the best idea what's what, but Anna thinks she sees a path, and there's we're going past an area where they're gonna get pretty close to one of these plants, and so she's gonna take a mutagen and pop it and give herself a little more dexterous. And then she's going to try to move, because assuming Saru is still kicking stuff, she's going to and Steven's flying around while this is all happening, she's going to try to move and get people to move as quietly as humanly possible.
So Anna takes the lead ahead, trying to point out all of the shit on the ground that you don't want to step on, and roll a stealth check. Oof, 22. That is a fail, too. That is a pass.
Anna fails on a 22 stealth check.
Throws herself directly into one of the bushes. Take me. No, she's able to kind of find this way through that has the least amount of shit that's gonna move, be in the way. She's turns around, she sees Dvalin literally about to step on the biggest, crunchiest branch and is able to like stop him before he does in his armor. And I just presume very bad stealth. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know.
Way to
But-
stereotype, Michael.
I mean, he had a 9 passive perception. That's all I remember. He doesn't even see that big crunchy thing that he's about to step on. That is 3 passes and 1 failure.
Valen and Clavius,
Who
their
wants
name
to
is the
be-
Stealth Bros.
Who wants to be the final
Clavius, I'll
pass
take the poach.
or the final failure?
I'll take this poach.
Because it is a 4-2 skill challenge.
Oh.
We're at 3-1, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael.
Just putting all the cards on the table.
Yeah, Clavius is going to try a plan that's a little more on the nose. He's going to send the shadow out in front as they're walking, first of all, to see if that triggers any attacks. And if it does, they'll know to go around. Secondly, he'll take a crossbow bolt from the quiver and he'll attack from the shadow, just kind of poking like plants on both sides as he's walking, is doing his attack from the shadow to see if anything moves. And he's also every 10 feet chucking a gold coin about 15 feet off the path to see if that draws anything as well. And between those 3 things, just trying to bait out the trap so he can, go around.
And what kind of check do you think that might be?
Oh, I feel like my
One that-
heart.
One that passes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely history, Michael. I mean, without a doubt.
Because what I'm hearing is deception, which I've already had happen in the skill challenge, which would mean it would be a higher DC. But I'm willing to hear your counter argument to why it's something else.
I think it's investigation.
I think it's animal handling.
Definitely not that one.
Will, do you want to
There's
whisper
the
to us
plant
what you want it to be, and then we can make the argument on your behalf, so you don't tip your hand?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to
Insight.
I mean,
listen.
Clavius does have a wood block. He could do a performance
be a
check with a
performance
wood
check.
block.
I think
I don't
I
know what
mean,
your
if-
charisma is. I think it's high, but I don't know.
if it's anything other than deception, it has to be investigation, because he's poking and prodding and like manipulating the object.
Yeah.
Is Clavius good at investigation?
He's okay.
Let's see what happens. Investigation, as it were. $15, you say?
All right.
You guys emerge on the other side of this horribly plant-filled region, rife with murderous plants that you are all able to avoid as the music hits that end right at the perfect time. Nicely done. You've defeated my skill challenge monster. Oh, I still had the night music going, or the night sounds instead of the day sounds. It is daytime. It is the afternoon. And you have made up some miles. Is there anything that anyone would like to do for the rest of the day? That isn't just walking along.
I want to look and see how Clavius and his shadow are doing or behaving.
Clavius is fine. The shadow only is coming out in battle over the last day or so. So average,
Okay.
which for Clavius is exactly average.
Could Isabel be
Cool.
trying to look for exotic plants as
Yes.
we travel?
Absolutely.
You find one, it eats you.
Roll your, what is it, herbalism or nature or perception. I'll take either, all, whatever you got.
Show off.
In the region that you are currently looking for this kind of portion of the day, there's nothing out of the ordinary that you notice. Nothing like other than that section that you were in before. It actually all
Right.
seems fairly normal. There might be a few things that like work in certain like your potion crafting as far as like just general like healing potions and things like that go, that you're able to kind of like pick here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
While we're walking, or maybe if we're like getting close, Anna would like to talk to Dvalin. Will you remind me of the pronunciation?
Dval.
You can't talk to him. You can't. That's fine.
Dvalin.
Perfect. Dvalin.
Dvalin. Where did you live before the burning? If you don't mind me prying a bit.
Mountain Heart.
Mountain Heart. Do you remember the burning? Do you remember it well?
I don't. It's been so long.
So long.
Not quite sure how long it's been. Got
Sure.
knocked in the head pretty good. It's hard to remember some things.
Do you remember what you did before your latest calling?
I remember I was pretty good with this thing. Points to his axe. I've gotten to learn this thing. Points to his shield.
It seems part of the reason why we were all a little jumpy was you say you got knocked on your head pretty good, so things are foggy. And well, as you heard Sarah yesterday, I understand that memory can be foggy for a lot of people who have nothing but the best of intentions. If you don't mind me asking, what do you solidly remember?
Not much. Can't remember family. Can't remember friends. I've got a vague sense of what things used to be from what I've talked to with the people in the Hollow. It's like I lose more and more memory as I age and experience more things, perhaps.
Perhaps. Are you actually... But you're dead sure that these sons and daughters can come back from the end, can come back. You know that with every fiber of your being.
I am quite sure of that. I've witnessed that with my own eyes. Not sure how. It seems to be some presence, some about Mountain Heart. It's different. The dead seem to like it there.
Michael, Anna would like to do a check. Maybe like a history check. Or something. Has she heard... she's heard a number of like stories and things about undead and odd tales. She wants to just scratch an itch to see if there's anything about somebody who was sort of like Isabel. Was like a story about somebody who was dead, but then came back to life. And just wondering, Connor has a suspicion. I think she started to, having listened to a story a couple times, is getting there. But just grasping at anything related to something like a return that she's heard in any travels or anything. Oh, that's a crappy
I was
roll.
muted. I was saying yes, sure. Yeah. You're not coming up with anything specific in your mind about people coming back. Kind of similar to when Isabel thought about it. Like she was thinking in a more like analytical, spell-driven way, like maybe a medical-driven way. Like that there's, at least there was before the burning. You haven't necessarily seen that type of power in this world, like people that were able to raise dead, clerics that were able to bring people back. But like, you never heard of people bringing back zombies or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting tale he's weaving, at least. Like I don't, you haven't seen this before, and he's sure he has. So, but yeah, you haven't really heard of that type of thing. That like, people coming back from being undead, from being zombies.
Well, let me know if any of your memories start to come back, especially around Mountain Heart, as we try to get to the lower city.
You want to go to the lower city?
I believe that was the goal. See who's still in there. Did we not talk about that last time?
We did. We did. You
I'm
talked about how there was like 10 to 15,000 husks or something like that.
Yeah. Dwellin told you there was upward of 60,000.
Oh, 60. There you go. Whatever. At that number, it doesn't really matter to me, but
Upward of more than we can handle.
Yeah.
Even that,
like a lot.
Like a lot. Like a lot. Anna doesn't really have any other questions. She just wanted to try to pull on something, but for now.
Anything else? Anyone else?
What time is it about now?
Afternoon, probably like 2, 3. 4 or 5, somewhere in there.
That's late enough. I'm going to ask Saru if he'll say the magic word on the horn. Did he say?
Absolutely.
Okay. Somewhere.
Clavius is going to nod to Saru and take the 2-gallon horn
2 gallons.
and go up to Dvalin and looking at him out of the corner of his eye will start to turn it up and chug it. And he's just staring at him the whole time, just staring him down as he's chugging this 2-gallon, pulls it down after a couple of quarts and hands it over to the dwarf and nods to him.
It's been some time since I've had this. Thank you.
And I'm trying to catch his eye as he's trying to beat me and drink more than 2 quarts.
He'll do it.
And okay.
Colin chugs some ale, I presume.
Oh, my throat had been awfully dry. Sure nice to wet it again.
Well, you can fill it up a couple times a day, so don't feel like you have to shortchange yourself.
Oh, some magical goblet you've got.
Kind of dribbles down himself.
Tunic's a little wet.
Yeah, you see his wetness begin to form on his tunic.
If there's any left, Does anybody else drink out of this thing? Isabel's got the horn up, pinky out, chugging back the ale.
Got her own
It's mainly
supply.
just been you so far.
That's it. Just a short little bonding moment.
Beautiful. Anything else from anybody? Nada? Nana? All right. You, as it gets later into the evening, you guys approach a bend. Where Fallen will probably be the first to kind of point out upwards upon the cliffs, nearly what looks to be maybe 2,000 feet or so, maybe higher up. You can see broken wood. You can see a white, like stained and torn, what looks to be like a sail. You can see what looks to be a mast kind of hanging over the edge of a cliff. It does appear to be the remnants of a ship of some kind. About over 2,000 feet up a cliff. A little ways off from where you are. Pretty dang close, though.
Told you it hurt your neck looking up at it.
To mark it on the map.
Hooray.
Yeah, so you're able to just kind of make out at that point just the ship. It's definitely those of you that have seen an airship before, it definitely looks that way. Those of you that haven't seen one, it may just look like a regular, boat, just in a very strange place. You wouldn't expect it to be halfway up a mountain, but yeah, that is what you see. I mean, generally from this position, there seems to be certain pathways up for at least a little ways up the cliff face, but it's fairly sheer in some areas from where you currently are. So that is what you currently see. What would you like to do? It's about 5-6 o'clock, which in the valley the sun will set fairly soon at this point.
Probably best to put down here and find a way up tomorrow.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Anna needs, if we're gonna have to climb up, Anna needs time.
I know a decent path that'll get us up most of the way, but after that, it's anyone's guess. It's still treacherous, mind you. Still plenty of chances to fall and hurt yourself.
Xerxes is noticeably excited, but he does know that it is dumb to try and go up that high in the dark. So he will resign to not going up there quite yet. But he's kind of amped, more than normal.
And Michael, I think you led off with this, but I missed it and I apologize. Can you just refresh me? Is it a case where, it's crashed up high above us and it's just, basically part of the mountainside and, to go past it would continue to go further up? Or is it a case where, we get to ship level and it's more a natural flat pass area, so to speak?
From what you can tell, you definitely know that it's it seems to have crashed into the side of this mountain. So there is absolutely more above. The sheer cliff face might not go straight above. It looks to be kind of on a ledge of sorts. But yeah, the mountain continues up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not a case where once we get there, okay, the danger is over, quote unquote. That just walking around up there is going to be very focused.
From what you can tell, it's hard, obviously, from down here to tell exactly what it looks like up there. There might be some room, as the ship did obviously hit and stick up there. So there's probably room to maneuver. But yeah, you would think that it would be careful is best.
Well, since I can't see exactly what's up there, Stephen would like to see exactly what's up there.
Love it.
So he's going to...
It's impossible.
Cast Arcane Eye. And before he does so, he's going to ask Valen to sit with him for a minute and basically give him a quick version of I'm going to cast something so I can see, and I want to try and describe the area since you're familiar with it, and also to see if you can remember where the path stops, and that way I can kind of just describe what I'm seeing and just give you, he's the experienced one here, an idea of okay, this is what it's going to look like, and just so Steven knows, okay, this is the port where Dvalin doesn't even know how to get to the actual ship. You're muted, Michael.
I'm sorry, I was reading the spell. All right, so you're sending that bad boy up. Duvall
Yep.
kind of showing you where to go, and it just travels right, just like 30 feet at a time.
Yep.
Dark
30
vision.
feet at a time for an hour.
Awesome. So you get up there after math amount of time. Just edit that in, producer.
Yep.
And what you see? Roll a perception check. All right, then.
And basically, I'm just doing some pre-scouting since
Yeah.
there's a part where even Dvalin hasn't been, and
Yeah, so you're able to pick up on a few paths on the way up that you think might be easier, might be more maneuverable for some of your party. As Zara has kind of pointed out already, like she does not feel very capable in climbing, and she almost stayed back because of it. But so she's a little worried. So you're trying to see some of the easier ways as your arcane eye is slowly kind of heading up that direction, trying to do the best possible route scouting. But getting up there, you kind of finally like crest over the overhang. And you see like a pretty green area, which maybe you weren't exactly expecting. There are a few trees, a few large rocks, and this massive airship. It is about, somewhere in the means of like 80 feet long, but it is broken basically in two, kind of right down the middle. It's just kind of smashed. There is wood everywhere, like pieces of wood, and most of them are like looking pretty like a very old fence. They have the green moss kind of growing on them. It's been here for a while. The sails are pretty much completely tarnished and ruined and kind of flapping in the wind a bit. And it's, from what you can tell, mostly just shattered wood and metal on a pretty sizable ledge, actually, like almost 100 feet. Originally, from your position down below, it was hard for you to kind of tell, and you were worried about this. Like, would it be really tough to be up there? And now you're like, no, we'd be fine. Like, there is comfort up there as far as like if we wanted to stay up there away from the ledge, and we wouldn't have to worry about falling. This isn't Frodo and Sam, and that's not going to be an issue. Like, you wouldn't be worried at all.
Okay.
With that 18, you note like where the cliff continues to go up. You do see there is what looks to be like a cavern or a cave of some type, kind of behind the airship.
Of course.
And that catches your eye as well.
Wouldn't be D&D without it.
Yeah. So that is what you see.
And one quick clarifying question. It sounds
absolutely.
like I found a route that like we feel like we can all get all the way, because I know Dvalin had mentioned I know a way to 75% of the way there, but then I haven't even gone all the way up. I feel like, okay, I see a good route for us 100% of the way to the airship.
You see that there are multiple routes. There are a few areas that you're not 100% sure of that would be like that treacherous. There would be some climbing and there would be some athleticism needed. But you're able to kind of like take it from, okay, if Valen has 75%, we could kind of go here, we could kind of go here, and you're closer to like there's 5 to 10% that is going to be difficult.
Got it. Okay.
But it's not 25% that's going to be difficult.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. That's cool.
Anything else?
Just knowing what the math is and I would have time, I would do, as I'm circling the airship, curious if there's any like animals or life forms that might have taken refuge up there, and then I'm going to go towards the cave, and I can do a little math if you'd like to, if that's helpful. I know we talked about it, and it's like 2 or 3 miles, so.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely have some time.
Yeah.
Roll a survival check or a nature check. Just kind of looking at the general area for aminals. Beautiful. So what you see around the area with a nature check, you don't, you're kind of like first looking maybe for signs of like roosting birds or anything like that as like the peritons that attacked you. You don't see anything like that. There is something that catches your eye amongst the ship itself. There are these thin, nearly imperceptible strands of silk that you like perceive in the sunlight as you're kind of getting closer, looking for like signs of animals in nature, and these look like kind of spider webs, and they seem to be like set up along the perimeter of the ship. These like very thin webbings that you pick up.
I'm going to send my eye up to the cave now, because...
Heading into the cave.
And it has dark vision up to 30 feet.
Beautiful. That is good to know. So as you slowly start to kind of go into the cave, it does obviously get much darker. And the first thing you come to is like a fork.
Oh, good.
There's a passage to the left and a passage to the right.
Can I make a perception check? Is there any signs of like wear or I don't know, rocks crumbled or anything that might indicate where Shelob or anyone which way she takes?
Yeah, roll perception as you're kind of entering that area. There isn't anything obvious at first glance. Looking both ways, you see silk in both directions.
We'll go right.
Beautiful.
Left is mistakes.
So going right, you start to see more of these thick, webbed like areas that are just like thick with webs kind of going across. The way it does not look great in here from somewhere that I would want to like hang out. There are what can best be described as like egg sacs and things like that along the walls. And it gets pretty tight. You come to a area that has what looks to be a steel door on the right wall of the cave, kind of inset. And then there is a path forward and a path left from there.
Keyhole?
There is not a keyhole on the door.
Sorry, guys, I'm taking so much time, but
I think your friends will be happy with your
Yeah.
your pre-scouting of the area, or they'll be very upset one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but if I recall correctly, when we texted about this, Steven can do this. I imagine Steven would be kind of like out loud narrating what he's seen.
Yeah.
So I will crowdsource like, hey, keep going down this way in the cave, or go back and explore the other channel.
Look, does the door have runes like the ones we saw under the waterfall?
Oh yeah, good question.
It has dark vision. You don't see any markings on the door.
Okay, and I'm assuming that it's pretty airtight.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty fairly airtight. It's actually doesn't have a threshold of normal means. I mean, it is inset in a wooden threshold in one way or another, and it looks like it was just placed in this cavern-like passage that is like would fit it. But there is actually silken web holding it in place. Like the web is essentially the wall that is holding the threshold and the door in place.
Okay.
Oh.
It's creepy.
Not great. Not great, Bob.
Not great. I'm gonna go back and try the other fork.
Okay. So heading back, you see, more of the thread and everything like that. And then you enter kind of like a larger area that seems pretty empty. And in the back of the area, you see there's a passage that kind of heads off and down to the right. And as the eye starts entering this area is thick with webs. Like incredibly thick with webs, to the point that it becomes an impassable region to push through. Like it's essentially a wall.
For the eye?
Mm-hmm. Like it is an airtight barrier at a certain point.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. Sorry.
You start pushing through, and it just starts getting thicker and thicker.
Got it.
Thicker.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. But I only saw those like egg sacs. I never saw actual Shelob.
No, you have not seen any life.
Okay.
At this point.
It's kind of concerning. All right, well. Then yeah, I assume we're probably close to time.
Probably pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, then I'll turn it off and actually, well, I won't turn it off. I will just one last thing. I'll exit the cave and I'll be looking around to see if it looks like there's any sort of wear on the mountain that might just indicate, hey, the spiders constantly go X direction leaving the cave.
Roll survival.
That's about right.
You know my answer.
Steven's a book guy.
Nothing.
All right, cool. Well,
love it.
Sorry, everyone. Hope that was helpful.
Cool spell. It's a very cool spell.
Yeah.
Anything else happening in the Belowlands? So Stephen relays kind of all this information as he's doing it. Then I presume starts setting up the old magical tent. Butte.
Mm-hmm.
Anything going down in the evening times? Nada?
Xerxes is going to read his book. I assume 6 more hours.
Shit. Is he getting there?
Assuming this is 6 more hours, then it would just be one
While
more.
Stephen was doing that, you can get some time. So yeah,
Cool.
Good.
So just one more 6-hour session, and he will be a healthy boy.
Healthy boy. He learned all those cool maneuvers to eat his vegetables and do his stretches. Amazing. Amazing. The knight,
Can Isabel do just a little bit of potion making?
absolutely, always. Stephen can do some wood carving. You guys do whatever.
Yep, he's actually literally about to do that.
The night does, in fact, pass peacefully. Other than the curse words coming from Isabel and Stephen as they have a hard time focusing on their work. But other than that, the night passes peacefully, and the next day will be advanced on the old calendar.
I assume just in the evening, since we're kind of just sitting around, just real quick, do anyone have any thoughts or ideas on he'll ask Volinik specifically, like, has he dealt with spiders a lot in the forest, in the mountains?
I don't think he has.
No, as far as spiders go, not really a thing you've experienced.
His kind of MO is get the dead people into Mountain Heart and then leave quickly.
Okay. But yeah, Stephen will just say we're sure we're gonna have to deal with them at some point, so we should be thinking about ways to do that.
Xerxes begins to build giant glue traps.
Smart.
We could
Spray.
somehow get the plants and the spiders to fight each other. I think we might have some.
Perfect. That's the perfect plan. March
Yeah,
the plants up to the spiders.
We had these poisonous trolls, perhaps. Lead them.
Wait, who is that? Take off his beard. It's Arthur. He's still trying to get us to do the troll shit.
Or the dead goblin whose name is escaping me. Just
you-
wearing makeup.
How could you ever forget Warbreath's name?
Warbreath. There we go.
Warbreath is king.
Yeah.
Long live Warbreath.
Long
To be fair, I was stalling until I remembered his name, so how could you ever forget?
Long live
What
Warbreath.
the fuck was his name? Warbreath's name. That's it. But yeah, the night passed peacefully, and you wake up in the morning of the 16th of Heliac, High Harvest. It's a mild day.
Let's
Air
go,
still.
let's go, let's go.
Sky's overcast. Heading up the mountain then? Is that the plan? Heading up the cliffs?
One more real quick question for
Very
Valen,
much
because
so.
Steven wouldn't know. How far, from Mountain Heart are we?
Boom.
Like I don't know, unless DM says otherwise, like a day.
About a day.
So it wouldn't make much sense for there to be a door connected to Mountain Heart this far away from it. Is Mountain Heart that big?
Is Mountain Heart that big? It's huge. Takes up many mountains. And at the very heart of it is a city.
So maybe this door leads to the inner city or the lower city.
Perhaps. There's plenty of ways in and out. Some better than others. I wouldn't suggest the front gate.
Well, that's good to know, at least. All right, that's all I needed.
I'm gonna climb with the armor in my haversack
Nice.
and put it on exactly when I get to the top, in case I forget.
Everyone hold on, I need to don my armor. 10 minutes, please. Somebody help me snap
Somebody
this
help
button.
5 minutes.
You are able to climb up a good portion of the way through Tavalin leading you in, as well as kind of Stephen showing you these other paths that he had found which, there's some climbing involved. There's some maneuvering over some rocks that are a little, not super fun if you don't like heights, but everyone is able to do it enough. There is one area where you guys kind of get to a point that just is not going to be easy. There isn't a clear path to where you need to get. It's going to either take climbing, it's going to take kind of a leap and grab. It's not going to be the easiest of places to maneuver around the edge of this kind of cliff face. And that's the point that I will need either checks or kind of a creative way to help some people along. Sarah especially is going to be heavily disadvantaged at being able to maneuver this section without aid.
Is it just really narrow?
Yeah, I mean it's not like that. It's not like you're taking like a specific stair up. Like no one has made a stair up to this area. There's no specific path. You guys are kind of having to make it up. So there's some areas where you get like, oh, this has been an easy climb thus far. This has been we've been able to walk.
How high is it?
You guys are at 1,500 feet at this point. So you're only about 500 feet away from the.
So the entire 500 feet is this?
Oh no! I mean,
jagged?
it's this area that's going to be tough is 20 to 30 feet of like trying to figure out how to maneuver it.
I would climb all the way up and drop a rope down, or leave a rope behind me.
So there's some horizontal
to kind of use maybe
too.
some sort of. Oh.
That will definitely help for sure.
Well, for the vertical parts, I would climb up and have a rope, so that people could hold on to it while they climb.
Do we have an explorer's kit, right, or adventurer's kit?
Sure, I'm sure some. Yeah, I think you guys got multiple of them actually.
Yeah.
Especially for the horizontal parts, can either Saru climb and like fix ropes with the pythons, as he's going, or Xerxes can fly, or Steven can fly and like fix the rope so for the part that's not just a straight drop down.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff to do that in the bag of holding at the very least.
Awesome. So who wants to do that?
Sarah.
Do some.
Did you say Sarah, Bartlett?
I really enjoyed his 3 points of contact comment earlier.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Very simple. She falls through that.
Yeah, so good.
Can't believe maintaining 3 points of contact.
Yeah, so who wants to do this thing?
Yeah, I would go because I have ropes and torches and titans and everything already. So.
All right. From Saru, I will need a survival or athletics check.
Either are great.
All right, so after about an hour of Saru kind of moving through here, hammering these pythons in, and getting the rope strung through, he feels like he's found a pretty decent path for everyone to take, and is kind of telling you all to start making your way across, to which I'll need athletics checks from everyone as you maneuver this section of the map.
So my thought would be I would make this, go back down to the group, and be next to Sarah, ready to catch her in case she slipped.
Beautiful. You would realize
She's
it.
obviously, like,
It
the
would
most-
be difficult to like climb next to someone and like
Fly on her.
catch them. That would be hard for sure.
So I will tie
Just so
a
you're
rope around
aware.
her waist and around my waist and then around the rope bridge that I just basically made. And she basically has a climbing harness pulley thing.
Roll another survival check if you will.
The answer to your question, Nick, is yes, I can, if that's easier.
Just seems like a bad idea.
All right, so Saru has her fastened to him.
Are we sure that he does?
Yeah, he it seems like he does.
Connor, your
But-
NPC is about to go over a cliff.
Well, does Saru go with her?
Yeah. They're tied together.
We'll find out.
Did Isabel prepare Featherfall today?
I don't think I can.
Yeah, that's straight up not a cleric's will, I don't think.
Yeah.
So athletics
Did
checks
Steven?
as you guys maneuver this section of the.
Whoa, spend some time.
The ropes course,
Okay.
if you will.
I got confused with Roland. I thought Roland had some cleric from Strahd because I knew he cast it.
He
He was sorcerer, right?
Yeah, he
Or
was.
warlock?
Yeah, he was sorcerer based. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna throw a bottle cap on this.
Ah!
I don't
Hi,
think Zara's
Claudius.
on. We have to worry about.
In real will.
Good. It's good. So far, so good. It's only 1,500 feet above the ground.
Of course, I threw the bottle cap on the
Yeah, it's solid.
19 on the die strength roll. I couldn't like crab walk up a pile of bones, but I can climb across this thing.
Is that everybody?
No, Steven's about to, but I wanted to declare this before I rolled. If Steven feels like he's like falling, he's just gonna cast fly on himself. So
Sure.
just wanted to put that out there.
Uh-huh.
All right, sweet.
All right. Here is my Zara. Here is Colt. It's looking really good. So,
Dangerous.
because of Saru's horse and survival check, the first time around, the DC was 5. Because of what he set up there. We have a beautiful Clavius with the 1. Isabel just makes it with guidance. And Sarah and Colt, to go along with my terrible rolling, seem to have also failed the check. So as you guys are kind of moving across this area, the first thing that happens is a very scary misstep from one Clavius. You guys are kind of along this edge and you immediately hear this clattering. And Clavius, you can make a dexterity saving throw. And as you guys turn, you see Clavius kind of like gripping against the edge and starting to scatter down the wall. And it doesn't look good, I would say. The rest of the failures.
Bartlett, you have the Tom Petty song ready? Free Fallen.
What Tom Petty song? Oh, no.
Colt rolls pretty well. As Colt starts to fall, you see he catches himself pretty quickly. Sarah also is able to catch herself. Her DC is actually, it's actually the same because Saru, as she falls, you see the rope kind of does not stay connected to her, but she is able to find herself before kind of skittering. Clavius, on the other hand, you kind of clatter against the rock for about 40 feet before you're able to stop yourself, taking cuts, bruises, bumps along the way. You take 15 points of damage, and then you find kind of this yourself in this not great position against the ledge, 1,500 feet or so, still above the floor. Clavius now 40 feet below you all, not connected to anything. The rest of you are able to kind of find your way to safety, and now you have to figure out how to get Clavius out of the situation he is currently in. Or he can get himself, who knows. But yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna yell down to
40 feet
Clavius and
below
tell him I'll yell down to Clavius and tell him to look for the really tight handholds that he can wedge his hands in. Make sure his feet are set before he pushes up, and give him some inspiration to climb better.
Good. That's good.
And do I find anything?
So you see that there might be a pathway ahead of you that you're able to climb. It just doesn't look like it would be the easiest of pathways. It's
Alex Honnold.
Not going to be an easy climb, that's for sure. Especially after the rush of skittering down the side of the mountain. But that's up to you and your party, what you want to do at this point.
And
So
there's
is he
no
directly
other. Is there any other safe spaces not 40 feet up?
This is a safe space, Will. Like, we're friends. It's a safe, healthy environment.
You can make a perception check to see if there's another route from your new position.
Steven will call down, like, how sturdy or how good is your footing down there?
Your footing is good enough. Like you'd be able to stay here for a time. You wouldn't be that worried about it. Looking around, there might be some other like general pathways you could take, but you can't necessarily see like the full outcome of them. They may be around ledges or whatever. Like it's like I can either go 40 feet up this way or I can go 80 feet this way and then have to find a new way from there. So it's just trying to figure out what the best route is from where you currently are. Doesn't seem an easy prospect. One route might look easy at first and turn bad.
And like I can see where the party is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 40 feet.
Boy, I feel like this is cheesing this, but I'll call the shadow 30 feet up. No, I can't do that. I call the shadow 30 feet above me, wait a turn, move it up onto the ledge, swap with it, and it disappears.
I love it. Roll a. I have to make you roll something.
That was too easy. I don't like it.
Yeah. because
I mean, in fairness, I could have just done that across the ridge in the first place.
it's true. Because technically you fall 500 feet around, so it's like waiting around. So I'll just have you roll a straight dex check. Beautiful.
Nice. Those are some big dex rolls you had there. With a 0.
The shadow is able to get you up to the group's position, and you have all managed to somehow survive the difficult area of this wall, and are going to be able to kind of continue your way up from there. You have passed the second skill challenge, this time with only about 15 points of damage. So that's solid.
Considering the alternative, that's fine.
Yeah, that could have been bad.
What have we learned today, class? That Michael has no longer decided to kill us with monsters. He's relegated us to skill checks.
It was
He has a
after
better chance of
Xerxes
killing
got
us.
that gun upgrade. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
There's no more fights. It's all skill challenges.
Combat
You
is no
can't-
more. It's
You
now
can't
all
crit
skill
on a
checks.
skill check. It's impossible. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you roll. But gang's all here. Whew. Clavius does have inspiration. I'm gonna put that on you. I don't think Isabel or Steven are concentrating anymore.
No.
Nope.
Just leaves that up there for them.
So Isabel will patch up the little wounds that Clavius did sustain.
Solid. 3 points down, yeah. But as you finally come over the last ridge, this is what you see. Much of what Stephen has already seen. This massive ship that is just kind of smashed against the side of this mountain. There, looks to be just shards of wood. There's splinters. It looks in quite terrible shape. But this is what you see as you guys come over the ridge. And Colt is beside himself. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen one of these. It was worth it. Almost dying on that mountain, worth it. It's been so long.
Steven will kind of turn and look at him like it's cool, but like it's completely destroyed.
Well, yeah, you're not 100% wrong, but just imagine it flying through the air, like that massive thing can soar through the skies, and it does it with magic. And just because the ship is broken doesn't mean we can't harness that magic. That might still be there somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need that ship in particular. We just need a ship with the power that ship might still have.
Yeah, no, for sure. That makes sense.
Yeah, Steven, he looks at the ship like you looked at Yofu the first time you saw him. It's kind of a similar thing.
Now I
Let him
get
have
it.
his
Totally
moment.
makes sense.
He's like, oh, yeah, that's true.
Can we move freely?
Yeah, you can do what you want. I want to tell Steven where that cave is. It is right.
I was literally just about to ask. Thank you.
Right here.
Can honestly,
And it's on ground level.
Yeah, it's like just right there is the entrance.
Steven's standing at the mouth of it now.
Yeah, that is exactly.
I'll just kind of stand there so people can know and they can wander about.
I don't know why Anna may or may not be able to see that because I can't see it on your screen. But that's just a a little nothing is what that is. I don't know why you can see that.
Okay.
It's pretty
Okay.
funny.
Little big spider.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think that's dynamic lighting woes of the new dynamic lighting.
Yeah, I can see a few.
Yeah, if you're wondering, that's just where I keep the inactive tokens on the page.
That's
Nice.
fine.
So very strange that you can see it. I think that's just because when I click on your token and like look at your light, you can't see it. It's pretty weird. I do actually want to ask someone if they would come.
Oh. Yeah, you're gonna need to. This is it. I need to go back and walk away.
Oh, weird! You can just see like everywhere.
It's like I could just see.
Weird.
Throw off the clip.
But no, this is like actually really interesting. So out of curiosity, if anyone else goes where Anna was up here, can you see past the
cave?
Past the
I can
cave
see
wall?
past the cave.
No.
No.
Just fine. Still just.
Anna's the only special one.
Oh, see, this is all very good to me. I wonder why.
That was exciting. I was like, man.
So can you still like see in there?
Yes, and I see you moved all the tokens, but I can still see.
Yeah, so you can see like the ground and stuff.
Yeah, I can see the setup of the cave.
Which is funny because the cave is like I've clone stamped a lot of shit, so that like a lot of that stuff that you're actually like where those spiders were like sitting, where the tokens were.
Yeah.
In those like rooms, like those rooms don't exist. Those like I've clone stamped away those rooms. So that's
funny.
That's really.
That's wild.
Vision is on. Night vision is on. Dimming. Low light. Weird. Well, we'll have to mess with your token at some point. Might have to rebuild it. But out of curiosity, can you walk through a wall?
Can I walk through a wall?
Yeah.
Nope.
That's so stupid.
But
right here where you can see through the wall, can you walk through the wall? If you just walk down?
Nope. Like the dynamic lighting works at the wall, but when I'm back at the ship and like kind of like around here, yeah, I can really spots like here, I can just kind of see what's going on.
Why does it not show me that? That is so obnoxious. It just shows me a black wall. God, I love Roll20.
Anywho.
Well, we'll mess with Honest Token at some other point. But all the possible bad monsters that may or may not be on the map aren't on the map anymore. So.
It is. I mean, it's not a surprise that the cave with the door entrance covered in spider webs may have spiders.
Yeah, may or may not have spiders. It's totally not a thing. So anyway, what does everyone want to be doing? And you guys can now put yourselves wherever the fuck you want to be on the map. Just let me know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
I would be following Colt around, just like watching him look at this thing and explain like what it is.
Yeah, so
maybe sort of finding some of the magical stuff that he was.
As far as what Colt's doing currently is just like walking around the outside of the ship, like and just like kind of taking it all in. Like he's like just like in awe. Seems pretty like just excited about the prospect of the ship. But that's what like he's doing at the moment.
I was gonna go around doing investigations on what I presume are like these piles of rubble. Starting this one back here.
So Anna, as you walk over there.
Good investigation.
Yeah, so you're kind of walking over that way, and as Steven's are you looking into the cave, Steven, or?
Oh yeah.
So Steven's walking over to the cave, and as you're walking over there, Anna, like you like trip a little bit, and you look back, and you're like, oh, what the hell? And then you start to like look at the boxes and the wood and stuff. And Steven, you hear like Anna like rummaging or whatever. You hear the wood moving. And then you hear something else from your position. You hear this like chittering noise. And then you kind of look back and look back again and then look back towards Anna, and you see, as the light of the sun kind of hits a certain area, you see that thread, that silk thread near the ship. And you realize Anna is now past that thread on the ship. And it seems that the ship that had this very imperceptible silken whatever webbing on it, Anna has kind of moved through that area, and it seems to have alerted something within the cave as you start to hear this movement coming towards your position. And then the scene fades out. And we see something else. The camera fades in on a darkened sky. A blanket of cloud cover blocks out the moon and stars, making for a very dark night. We pan down to find our bearings within a steep, craggy region, cliff face with ledges and dark caverns falling down to a green mountain valley. At the base of the cliff, we see a hooded lantern shining light upward into the air. We close in on a group conversing in whispered voices. Are you sure it's up that way? Yes, I'm sure. Its layer must be about 100, 120 feet up, just beyond that overhang there. That's where the bastards were coming from. We see a group, 4 in total, standing at the base of a rocky cliff wall. A handsome half-orc aims a hooded lantern upward in the direction of a craggy overhang. To the victor goes the spoils. Isn't that right, Fillmore? You have that one stored up in there? A young-looking half-elf taps twice on the temple of her shaved and tattooed head. Did I finally beat you to one of your own sayings? She says with some excitement and some exasperation. The scraggly-looking man with a fierce tangle of white and black hair smirks. Expectations make people miserable, so whatever yours are, Swallow, lower them. It was a few manticores, not a dragon. If they even have a horde at all, it'll be meager. I can always count on you, old man, says the half-elf before removing a claw-shaped necklace from beneath her hide armor around her neck, and then instantly transforming into a small bird and flying up in the direction of the overhang, still illuminated by the light of the lantern. As she flies upward, we see Fillmore walk back away from the wall toward a pile of 3 monstrous corpses. Leathery wings folded up around golden fur and a blanket of black spines, all stained with fresh red blood. He grips his oversized broadsword tightly, and then we see these flames kind of lick up around the blade before he plunges it deeply into the massive humanoid head of the Manticore. We see half-orc standing back with the lantern kind of look over to the dwarf nearby, just outside the light. Fillmore makes eye contact. There's no such thing as being too paranoid. He smirks and then he starts driving the blade into another one's head. As he begins to walk back towards the group, there's kind of a few more moments of silence as they all kind of look up, kind of awaiting whatever's happening above. into that dark night sky.
All right. What's taking us so long?
And as Fillmore finishes uttering his words, we hear a horrible, loud scream of a woman from above, yelling, "Run!" The last thing we see is the half-elf with the shaved head leaping off of the overhang above into the air. And then as the darkness takes our vision, a massive shape erupting from the interior of whatever cave or overhang she was exploring. We fade to black. And that is where we end tonight's session.
You can take a bottle cap. You just can't use it on whatever horrible
Whatever
monsters.
whatever monstrous spider tokens that you may or may not see.
Yep.